What is going on, guys? Today we looking at Joao Pedro. I'm hoping I'm saying that right, but he is the Watford striker going from a 71 common all the way up to an 87. And it's very interesting because we did have an SBC in Arthur who was also an 87 Brazilian striker, obviously in the Serie A, with another big upgrade as well. He was 6'1", Pedro's 6 foot. He's got the 4-star, which is already one up on Arthur, who had a 3-star skill move, and it's going to be an interesting one. I feel like he's had an absolutely cracking upgrade with 15 pace, 16 shooting, 15 passing, 16 dribbling, as well as physicality, and an 8 increase on his defending. So a massive upgrade. He's had a plus 16 on his original card to now, and he's coming in at a whopping 130k. He is extinct at the moment. I can imagine he probably will drop down. I thought he was on the market for a little bit, and then suddenly nothing. They literally went extinct out of nothing, but we managed to snipe one up probably within about 15 tries, so nothing really too taxing there. He has got the high-low work rates, which is always perfect. Like I already mentioned, he's 6 foot in height, no traits unfortunately, and that's going to be a big thing with a lot of future stars who are not already gold cards, because I feel like a lot of them don't really have too many traits. More than last year. I think last year it was literally nothing, but this year I just find that very few silvers who have had an upgrade actually have any traits at all. He's got great pace, which has been a massive upgrade, going from 78 pace to 93. Very nice indeed. That's going to be interesting to see how that feels. Good shooting on him. Passing's okay. Nothing really too fantastic there. Dribbling, again, looking pretty positive. Heading accuracy is looking good. And a bit of physicality. Nothing too amazing, but just a little bit. So we're not going to waste any time. Deadeye is on him currently, which gives him 93 shooting and 82 passing. And it turns him into a 93 rated striker. Let's get into him. Now Pedro's going to take it away. Sterling's going to find Salah. Going to make that turn. Where's Pedro moving to? We need some work rate from him. Just in no man's land there. I pick him here. What can we find with him? He's right-footed. Over the top. That's a solid block. Whoever blocked that, that was absolutely impeccable. To Pedro again. Looking for that 1-2. We've kind of learnt from Arthur that you can't necessarily just keep running with these players, especially when they are a little bit on the bigger side. Let's say bigger side, you know what I mean, in terms of height. But wow, that was poor. But in terms of him so far, I'm liking him. He definitely feels a little bit more agile than Arthur. Not by much. I know there's only a 1 height difference, but it all matters in terms of animations and just generically how the card is built on the game. It literally doesn't come down to sometimes that the guy in real life is completely different. It is literally a FIFA rating more than anything. So we're going to try and find him here. We need him attacking here. Got absolutely nothing from him. There it is. Little touch. Get it across. Beautiful. Cracking finish. Skill moves as well. Very slick. Very nice indeed. Like I say, someone a little bit on the bigger side in terms of 6 foot. Can't argue with that. A nice little skill move every now and then. Cannot go amiss with a card like that, especially when he's going to be so attacking focused. And obviously for me, I personally have him on his own up front. Again, some of these strikers either can help with a really good pair of wingers, or obviously having that striker that's just like almost like a Salah or a Sterling. Ooh, solid save from Areola. Into him here. Look to go across. Goes for the straight shot. Areola again with a big outstretch of his arm. This is where I want to see him. Even Zuma's going to out-muscle him there. Centre-backs nowadays are getting very strong. And strikers just physically can't match that sort of strength. Like I was suggesting with Arthur. Obviously, the kind of bulkier strikers, you're looking at like your Lukaku's, who have got a little bit of pace with them this year, but in terms of kind of the strength, when you're coming up against a Rio, a Maldini, a Varane every single game, the advantage is gone from them. So literally you're having to play exceptionally smart with them to be able to even get them into the team, really. Whereas you look at your Mbappe's, who physically can just run past anybody. That's the kind of bonus he has with himself, and that's what makes him so good. Big ball over, gets the header. Pedro shows what he can do. And again into him, a little link up with Salah. Finds the ball through, gets a very lucky break, but unfortunately it does bounce back to the defender. Can we get a bit of a... Oh, we're going for the right foot. Wanted to come across with his left. Maybe try and go that top bins. Can we get a bigger header on it? Oh, that is a beauty. Love to see it from Pedro. Heading ability is absolutely on point. So going into Pedro's overall then. So he's still extinct at 130. I'll absolutely take it. I can imagine he will drop down from 130 before too long. I can't imagine him to be over 100k by at least the end of this week. We're in the first hour and a half of it. It's bound to happen with obviously the influx of Team of the Year, everybody opening packs, absolutely going all in, to now kind of resettling a little bit. Obviously, it'll be an up and down promo, but obviously Future Stars is coming in quite nice. Some really high rated cards that are very much obtainable, and the people who didn't get Team of the Years will obviously want to try and pack something good for once. So all to everybody to obviously try and get whoever you can from Future Stars. I want to try and do as many reviews as possible for them. Pedro was just the first, and honestly quite an easy one because there is very little tax lost with him. But in terms of a player, he was the main kind of competitor that I wanted to try over Arthur. Obviously, in terms of the two of them, they are very similar. There isn't much between them. In terms of the SBC as well, both of them coming in at a high price at this moment in time. Obviously, Pedro's still coming in cheaper at this moment, with the added bonus that you can use untradeable for Arthur, but both of them have that exceptional upgrade. Both Brazilian, both in a major league, obviously 87, and I think the biggest thing for me is 4-star skill moves compared to 3-star. That's always a big dub for Pedro there. Both with the 4-star weak foot. We have got one at 6 foot, one at 6 foot 1. Obviously, both of them right footed, 20 and 23. And in terms of breaking down their stats between the two, we've got one faster one. Obviously, a better shooter by a little bit. Nothing too major there. Passing, again, I think Arthur's definitely kind of taken over that one. In terms of dribbling, we've got a better composure here, which people will always argue that I'd rather take better composure on a striker than passing, which I think is a massive point. Defending don't really matter at all. And physicality, that is one thing that Arthur definitely excels in. Both of them with great heading ability. Arthur's just got that incredible jumping. So it's a close one, and I do think for me Pedro does take it by an inch, just purely for the fact that I think Arthur is coming in a bit expensive on an SBC, but you can obviously grind to get that done anyway. So he technically could be free fodder as such, or used free fodder, compared to obviously having to pay an excess of 130 at the minimum. Again, I would be looking at definitely at under 100k. I wouldn't go for anything more. And in terms of the Prem strikes, I think he comes in quite high in the rankings personally. You've obviously got Ronaldo. Kane's actually really not a bad card. I'd say he's probably going over Lukaku purely for what he can actually produce. Werner's obviously up the top there. Jesus is up the top. Even Aubameyang. Even though Aubameyang for me is incredibly overpriced, I still would imagine that he is going to be better than him anyway. And say Martial. Other than that, I think you're looking at then him. So for the price you can pay for him, I really think he's coming in quite nice. Daka, unfortunately, I don't know how Daka's got a price tag, but apparently he does. But in terms of Pedro, I think he definitely comes in there as one of the better strikers. And again, you can use him in your Brazil team if you don't finish Arthur, or even if you do finish Arthur. You've got a nice little link there to the SBC player if you do manage to buy him or pack him later on this week. And obviously we do have the Future Stars tokens coming in, which will give us a Future Stars player pack, or if you was to spend the 25, you get the pick as well. That being said, would I suggest buying him? Depending on your team. If you're really struggling for a striker in the Prem, you maybe can't afford Ronaldo, Werner, kind of special cards out your budget. I think he's coming in at top 6, top 7 for striker personally. He's got good pace on him. Heading is fantastic. Dribbling is decent. Not incredible, but decent. Passing wise is okay. Nothing really too spectacular there, but we could always imagine that. And as a striker, I don't need him to have incredible passing, but it's always nice to have a little bit extra. That's why we've gone with that Deadeye, just to get that short pass up, so we know we've got a bit more composure with him, a bit more able or ability to pass the ball in them short spaces, going the 1-2s with the wingers, or obviously your striking partner. Overall for me, I'd be coming in at about 8.8, nearly at 9. I think he's just a tiptoe away, so I'd say 8.8 to 8.9. So let me know down below if you would pay 130 for him, or if you have packed any of the Future Stars. Let me know as we get them rolling in. We will continue to do more reviews. Like and subscribe with the bell button on, and I catch you all for the next one. Peace.